Hey, I was getting ready to do some prep work for where I was going to be in the Madison tour of homes in Rutledge at the farm on Dixie Highway, and reminded that the 20th Army Corps, the left wing of Sherman's army, marched through that area. This is the index for their maps, and then if you look at the actual maps, you can see kind of how they moved and marched, where each night it showed kind of where they were headquartered at. So here's just outside of Social Circle and down to the railroad where the main line went through the Georgia Railroad. See the division headquarters, and then as they came down and crossed over the Ufalanache, that's the Alcovy River as we call it now, and then from there they marched along the railroad. And one of the nice things they did is they called out some of the family homes in the area: Harst, Green, Day, Hartlow, Anderson's. There's Union Meeting House, that's still just south of Rutledge. You can see where Union Meeting House, the historic cemetery, is, the town of Rutledge. And then you'll see there is a farm right here just outside of Rutledge, going toward Madison, called Lane. Now in this memoir written by David Power Conyngham, who's an Irish immigrant, a journalist during the time, he makes record of past the property of Mr. Lane, who was courteous enough to wait to receive us. And he goes on essentially to talk about how they essentially just took everything from the farms down through there. They really kind of burned the depots, the cotton storage, things like that to be war material, but then they essentially took any family's crops that they had put up, hogs, cattle, that they even in the town of Madison just pulled some stuff out just for the joy of destroying things. As we kind of continue to look at that next day where they actually marched into Madison, a couple of things to call out here. They came from the Lane place, continue to follow the railroad, and you'll see here Jones, that's Dr. Jones. So the Ansleys, that story of their ancestor who was, I think, a lieutenant in the 1st Ohio Heavy Artillery, which I hadn't been able to figure that connection to the 20th Corps yet. I thought they were all based up in eastern Tennessee in the forts, but that's the Dr. Jones place. Moved in, camped outside of Madison, and when they were at Madison, they actually split in two directions. Most of the troops moved south, essentially going in the direction it would take you down toward Bethany Church, and then eventually all the way into Eatonton. And an interesting note here is one of the soldiers in this particular, which this is the 1st Division and the 3rd Division, 1st Brigade, no, 1st Division, 3rd Division of the 20th Corps. One of those soldiers, his 3 times great grandson's actually the pastor over at Remembrance Community Church. So passed right by the church where his eventual descendant would be. The 2nd Division moved on along down to Buckhead and then camped at Blue Spring. And if you're familiar with when you get ready to cross over Lake Oconee, essentially to go into Greene County, you'll see Blue Spring Road goes off, and so that's where they camped. They would have then turned and gone south, and they burned Parks Mill, or looted Parks Mill. And of course most of that area right now is underwater, and they destroyed the railroad bridge. They then continued following down this side, Glades Crossroads, and then made their way where they ended up joining back up down below Eatonton with the rest of the army. So there's just a few glances of the march to the sea, the left wing, the 20th Corps with elements of the 14th Corps that made their march through Rutledge, Madison, all the way down to Savannah eventually. And if you are happy and if you would like to come out and see the tour of homes in Rutledge, I'll be at a home that was right here that may or may not have been there when the war happened, but definitely homes around it existed, and some were burned as they moved through, according to the works of this journalist Conyngham. So there you have it. Hope you enjoy some of this information, and if you see anything else you want to know, just reach out. Thanks.